Cool. Dr. Fisher, are you on the call?
I'm here.
Great. All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you guys both for joining. I just want to give you guys a quick introduction. So Dr. Fisher is an emergency physician down in Houston, Texas. She is the founder of MaveRx. It's a leadership development and networking firm. And she's going to give us an approach over the next couple of meetings, the leadership development and networking. She has a 10-step philosophy on how to develop your leadership skills, how to go out, reach out to mentors and other leaders in the field, and really just eventually become one of the leaders in emergency medicine. So we asked her to participate on this call over the next few calls, and she's graciously offered to do so. You guys are the future of leadership in Texas. So without further ado, Dr. Fisher, please just take it away. Thank you for being on the call.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. And honestly, you guys have already taken the first step, and that's getting involved. I'm so impressed with all the work that you do, and I'm very happy because you are our future. You're going to be taking care of me and Lynn when we're retired and just hanging out, hopefully traveling around the world with our children. So I'm going to try to keep this down to 10 minutes. I'm going to go over what I really believe are 3 objective steps, super easy for you guys to implement, and absolutely it's what will make an easier transition into leadership, because there's a lot of things that we as faculty want you to know, and we just assume that you've been told by someone at some point. So the things that I actually teach and present are very basic. It's not scientific, but it's definitely been proven to work. So the first thing I was going to do is just kind of give you an outline, and then I was going to talk about a couple of the first part, which is more than one step. But anyway, I think the 3 steps to becoming a leader is first start with the end in mind. And when I say that, I mean literally write down where you see yourself in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And when you figure out what that is, then you have to figure out how do you get there. Not just I want to be an emergency physician, I want to be an academician. Once you figure that out, it's a matter of it would be me telling you, to be successful, you have to go to location X. You would ask, what are the directions? That's where mentors and networking becomes so important. Our curriculum vitas, which when I sent out the steps, included mine, are your steps. What do you need to do to get to your destination? So start with the end in mind, write down your goals. The second step is establishing credibility, which all of you are doing now by taking on leadership roles, not being afraid to step outside your comfort zone and take on new roles to develop yourself. And third is being recognized for the accomplishments that you and your teams make. So when you go to the top 10, the pregame, what do you need to know or do to be prepared when you show up to meetings? 99% of getting involved and becoming a leader is just showing up. Showing up with what you planned, with your roadmap in mind. Where is it you want to go? Find the mentors that are already there in those roles that you wish to emulate and network with them. Meaning you have to be able to go up and concisely introduce yourself. That's your elevator speech. What do you say about yourself in the first 10 seconds? We all know emergency physicians, especially, are ADD. What are you going to say about yourself that's going to make me want to pause and speak with you longer or move on to the next person standing there? Once that conversation happens, that introduction, you have to follow it up. That means you have to have, I always say virtual card more than paper cards, but you need to have something in your phone that does anyone know, you guys, I know the kids I already work with have virtual cards. Do you guys know what a virtual card is? Everybody have one on their phone?
Hey, Dr. Fisher, it's Sham. I have my virtual card.
It's just putting your contact information, what you would want to share with someone else. And literally, in that matter of conversation, you exchange cards so that you can follow up. And having a CV, a curriculum vitae, you guys should have a Google Doc or whatever platform you use. The medical students drove me to Google, which I actually now love. But have a working, living document so that every time you accomplish a task, you're updating your curriculum vitae, so that when you go to a meeting and you have an opportunity to meet with someone and discuss a project idea, you can share your contact information so you can follow up. And if they want more information about you, or even for you to get more information about them, to be able to exchange information. Having said all of that, that would be the pregame preparation. I know that's a lot to take in. Thoughts, feedback?
I think that's a
Jonathan?
Really good... No, I was waiting for everyone else to give any feedback. I think that's a really good way of going about things starting off. Dr. Fisher personally reached out to me when I first met her about using a virtual card. And I will say, guys, I can give you a personal example of when that's come into effect. I was attending ACEP conference this year, and I met a couple of the ACEP leadership who, when I asked for their business card, they actually had virtual business cards. And so we were able to quickly just 3 taps of a phone button, just swap business cards and swap contact information. And then one of the good ways, and I don't know, Dr. Fisher, you may go into this in a little bit, one of the good ways that I found personally to put those virtual cards to use is after every single conference, after every single time I ran into one of those physicians, just reaching out and kind of saying, one event that stood out to me from a conversation we had during the conference, just to kind of help them remember my name and remember the card it's associated with me. So I do think that for you all to get one of those on your phone takes less than 5 minutes, and then also have a CB pre-formed. I think those are imperative to networking.
Dr. Fisher, Jonathan, I've actually never heard of the virtual card. Could one of you explain, is there an app on your phone? Does it save to your pictures? How does that work exactly?
It's basically creating your contact in your phone. And what you're doing, when you share contacts with other people, just share it via text message and you attach the contact. It's creating a contact with the information that you want about yourself out there for everyone, so that you can just share it in a text message.
Thanks.
Basically, you make a contact for yourself.
And what Jonathan said about follow-up after a meeting, so how do you ingratiate yourself with mentors? How do you get their buy-in? Because, honestly, all of us are super busy. It's funny, I really have almost retired, and it feels as busy, if not busier. And then when I was running the Ben Taub, it's just, you always find ways to fill your time. But so how do you get a mentor, someone that you want to work alongside, invested in you the way that you would want from them, to get the information or the support and resources that you need into those relationships? It's more than saying something that's interesting to them. But I always think when you first meet with someone, I've heard all this. Dr. Fisher, I understand you just love the leadership stuff. I would love to work with you on a presentation or help you write an article, because it's something I'm really interested in learning as I go. When you meet someone, especially those, and you should know before you go to a meeting, who are the people you want to meet. You guys want to get into residency programs, so you really want to impress folks like Dr. Rapola, but you need to know about who she is and what she does. And, getting involved with TCEP Education Committee, because now Dr. Rapola is running our meetings, finding out what people do, especially when it's something that you like to do, and offering to work with them on projects. Everyone is busy. I am more happy to help someone who is helping me or working on a piece or doing a project with me. And in that exchange of information, you're going to learn so much more than just about the project that we're working on together. And, oh, by the way, you're also establishing credibility. And, oh, yeah, when we go to meetings and I introduce you to other colleagues, I'll have something to say about you. This is Jonathan Brewer. I worked with him on Texas Two-Step. He's amazing. He's chair of the TCEP Medical Student Committee. What is it that your mentor is going to say about you that's going to help you make the connections you need? And really, it's just stepping up, speaking out, and introducing yourself to folks. And then the follow-up, which is critical. And that's my 10 minutes, Jonathan. We'll have to brainstorm and see if this works. It's a lot to try to fit in. I apologize. We're going to try to just take 10 minutes and try to I really give you guys just a brief overview. And I'm always happy because, like I said, I'm mostly retired. I'm always happy if anyone wants to reach out. You guys all have my contact information and just do one-on-one follow-ups as well.
This is Julie Polo. I just wanted to reiterate everything that you have said, Angela, to the students that are listening is so important, and things that I wish when I was at their level that somebody actually took the time and sat down and talked to me about this. But I just wanted to kind of second how important everything that you've said is. But just one thing is it's very easy to get overwhelmed with things, and your most important thing right now is to be a really, really good medical student and do well clinically, do well on your boards and that kind of thing. Sometimes we get students that get so bogged down in all the extracurricular and the leadership, and then they don't do well on their boards, and then they don't get good scores, and then they struggle getting into residency, and then they think that the leadership is going to compensate for it, and it helps, but it doesn't replace doing well clinically. And emergency medicine has gotten so competitive, so I just wanted to put that in there. But otherwise, I think that it's some great advice, and I'm here if any of you need anything.
I would want to reiterate what Dr. Rapola says. Absolutely, there are no substitutes for good scores on your test, and absolutely clinical performance. There are no substitutes. But the things that I offer are to help. It will hopefully help you do better in clinical when you learn to be a leader, when you learn to communicate well with others. And it's really just the icing on the cake. Absolutely. And it's to help for those that are kind of borderline, because the unfortunate part is we can't all be AOA, and we are not all going to get honors. So it's a balance. But absolutely cannot lose focus on making your test scores and your rotations. And honestly, I'm glad I got into emergency medicine when I did. It is so competitive.
I know. I wouldn't get an interview with my own program right now with how I did. Like, I didn't do bad, but didn't do as I'm doing right now. So
and don't ever, all of you guys, there's so many faculty who are here who want to help. Don't miss out on that opportunity. Just ask. Just have an open heart and I always say an open mind and an open heart, and always say thanks to people who are honest with you and give you the honest feedback. It's not easy to hear sometimes, but it's very important. The breakfast of champions.
Just on that note, so some of you here might be on that virtual advisor Google Drive document, and we are actively working on recruiting faculty who are leaders in either the clerkship or the residency program to be your virtual mentors. So just stay tuned with that, but hopefully we'll have an updated document soon.
Well, thank you both so much for being on the call tonight. Thank you both for the kind words. We really appreciate you guys speaking out to the students on the call tonight.
Our pleasure. Thanks.